Hey guys, so we had a little bit of trouble today in class with finding the part and finding the percent. So I just wanted to make a quick video for those. So when you're looking to find the part, right, so that's an example of saying, hey, what's 50% of 20, right? We're looking for that part. So 50% of 20, we know half of 20 is 10. So we're just going to look at a few examples of this because it's really quite simple in terms of how to find that answer. So for example, if we were doing, let's say, 80% of 20, right? So we've got 80% of 20. That word of is always going to be our tip-off, reminding us to multiply. Okay, so then all we need to do is turn 80% into a decimal so that we can do our multiplication with that. So 80%, that's 80 out of 100, so we know that's 0.8 as a decimal. And we're going to multiply that by 20. Then we just got 0 times 8 is 0, and 0 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16, and 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1. We have one number to the right of our decimal here, so after we add, we're going to have one number to the right of our decimal. And so 80% of 20 is 16. And that's how we find these parts, right? So again, just as a reminder, this here obviously is our percent. This would be the whole, that's right. We're saying 16 out of 20 is 80%. And then, of course, that equals a part, which is 16. So we can always look at kind of the word form would be our percent times a whole equals a part. Okay, and we showed you in class the other day that if we want, we can even manipulate that equation. So if we want instead of knowing the part, if we have percent times whole equals part, we can also figure out what that percent is. So, and we already know this. This makes sense, right? That's like saying, hey, 3 out of 4. Well, if I want to know the percent, right? That's the part is 3, the whole is 4, and I want to know the percent. So there are a lot of ways I can do it. I can divide 3 divided by 4, or I can find an equivalent fraction. So in this case, I know that 4 times 25 is 100, and 3 times 25 is 75. So we know logically, right, that our part divided by our whole equals our percent, 75%. And if we look at this algebraically, we can find the same thing because percent times whole equals part. And if we take that and we divide both sides by the whole, that will just leave us with the percent equals part divided by whole. So then if we get a problem that says something like, let's say 8 is what percent of 20? 8 is what percent of 20? Then we just need to identify our different pieces of this formula here. So we've got 8 and we've got 20, and what we're wanting in this case is the percent. That's the unknown. So again, if we know percent is equal to part divided by whole, then it's just a matter of determining which is which. And again, this word of is always going to come before our whole, right? We're talking about a part of something else. So we're saying 8 is what percent of 20? So 8 out of 20, what percent is that 8? And again, percent equals 8 over 20, and that's just simple division. 8 divided by 20, and 20 goes into 8 0 times, and it goes into 80 4 times. So we would have 0.4, which as a percent is 40%. So 8 is 40% of 20. So these are the two kind of problems that we had on our homework check today. I know we had a lot of trouble with them. Hopefully referring back to this video will help you out with those. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys later.